Tonight, a gruesome discovery for Coral Harbor residents who found the body of a man floating in a nearby lake. We'll tell you what investigators are saying about this incident. Plus, big bucks for Eleuthera as a $55 million upgrade is on the way. Government gets ready to sign an agreement for the long overdue development of an airport there. We'll tell you which one. And later, breaking barriers. We hear from male teachers who are inspiring the next generation in a female-dominated profession. Our news, the weekend edition, starts right now. Welcome to our news, the weekend edition. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Berthany McDermott. It's been 5 days since thousands of students and teachers returned to the classroom, and so far, by all accounts, it seems like everything is running smoothly. Tonight, we're putting a spotlight on the ones shaping the minds of the next generation, the teachers. Specifically, we highlight several male teachers who are making waves and helping transform the culture in education. Week 1 back-to-school coverage comes into focus in less than 5 minutes, but first, a shocking discovery by Coral Harbor residents this morning who woke up to find the body of a man floating in a nearby lake. It's an incident police say they're investigating as an apparent drowning. Police tell our news they were called to the lake at Gregory Close around 10:30 this morning, and when they got there, they say they found the man faced up in the water.
EMS responded to examine the body. There were no vital signs by EMS. This male appears to be in his early 40s. This matter is being actively investigated. We don't have any additional information at this time.
According to Superintendent Josie, the body showed no signs of injury. Police are now urging anyone with a missing loved one to contact the Central Investigations Department immediately. The superintendent made this appeal.
To appeal to the public to be our brothers' keepers. Keep our eyes on our brothers, our neighbors, our family members. So if they're missing, they can get in contact with the police quickly, and the police could move swiftly to try and find their loved one.
And now to Eleuthera, as the Davis administration is set to sign a $55 million loan agreement with the Saudi Fund for development aimed at fast-tracking long overdue upgrades to North Eleuthera International Airport. The news comes as a relief for Eleuthera residents who have been dealing with outdated facilities for years. Many locals have expressed frustrations with the airport's condition, which Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism Chester Cooper openly called completely embarrassing back in April. At the time, Cooper assured the public that a new modern facility was on the way. The official signing of the agreement is scheduled for Monday.
This development is an example of the benefits of these relationships. This is vital for Family Island Airport infrastructure development and the continued growth of tourism, but also the economic growth of the people of Eleuthera.
North Eleuthera Airport is one of several Family Island airports set for major upgrades as part of the Family Island Airport Renaissance project. Eleuthera saw a 30% jump in air and sea arrivals in 2023, and Cooper says the move will accelerate the island's development.
I think by this signing, we are going to expedite the revitalization of the North Eleuthera Airport, making it a world-class facility and ensuring that this very busy airport, one of the busiest in the Bahamas, can bring to bear the type of service that we need to offer both residents and tourists. I think this project reflects our stern commitment to ensure that Bahamians everywhere, regardless of where they live, benefit from the growth of our country.
More Bahamians are being encouraged to invest in the tourism sector, which is currently booming with over 9 million visitors coming to the Bahamas last year. Despite this growth, some local businesses say they feel they're missing out on the benefits. Speaking with reporters at the Downtown Mural Project winners announcement this week, Cooper addressed the issue, noting one major complaint from cruise lines is the lack of activities available in the country.
This is a call for the community to invest in tourism, to get involved, to create businesses, to invest in downtown,
to create experiences for our guests, to help us to create and fulfill the vibe that we have been trying to create for entertainment and restaurants and experiences, cultural and heritage and otherwise downtown. So whilst we lead the process, Bahamians must invest in downtown, must invest in tourism. There's no better time to do it than right now.
In the past, straw vendors have also voiced concerns about cruise visitors not bringing cash or buying cards ashore. Deputy Prime Minister Cooper says his ministry has responded by forming a team to meet with vendors to better understand the challenges they face.
We are going to offer our expertise where they are needed to help them perhaps to make adjustments, whether it's in providing more authentic products or positioning or location or environment, etc. We have a team that's actually already engaged on this. The straw market, however, does not fall within the purview of the Ministry of Tourism, and therefore we're working along with the Straw Market Authority and the Ministry of Works to ensure that we provide some support.
And now our back-to-school coverage comes into focus as the education system gets a much-needed boost with the arrival of 46 Cuban teachers. That's according to Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson, who says this new development is a significant step forward, tackling a persistent nationwide teacher shortage. Now, 1 week into the new school year, Wilson emphasizes that many schools are still grappling with a shortage of specialty teachers across various disciplines. However, she says the Cuban educators now in Bahamian classrooms are adjusting well.
This year, I was pleased that we were able to send one of our executive officers to Cuba along with the recruitment team from the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Public Service. So there are approximately 46 of them that are here. They've arrived from about 2.5 weeks ago.
Concerns about language barriers and cultural differences have been voiced by students, parents, and even some teachers in the past. But Wilson says meticulous efforts will be made to ensure that teachers are versed in English and Bahamian culture.
We were able to meet them at the orientation. I must say that this year, a number of them have been speaking to us in English fluently, but the Ministry of Education is also doing some classes and getting them acclimatized and even teaching them some of our local vernacular, because you're going to be in the school with our children and being able to adapt to the culture and to know what some of those phrases that the children would use. That's very important.
Well, while education is predominantly a female-dominated field, several men are making a significant impact in their profession. Often considered among the most influential figures in a child's life, teachers play a crucial role in shaping futures. Tonight, we shine a spotlight on several male educators at Queen's College who view their roles as far more than just teaching.
As males, I think we should be at the forefront of national development. And the best way to do that is through education.
For the men teaching at Queen's College, it's more than just a job. It's a chance to inspire and uplift the students who enter their classrooms. Take religious studies teacher Dinero Ramming, for instance. He views his role as an opportunity to demonstrate to male students that they have the power to achieve anything they set their minds to.
I think it's very important for them to know, to see, to recognize that males can act in such a way to be teachers, to be educators, and then to pursue their dreams, right? To know that they could do anything. If males are the ones who can take on this role and do it well, although that there are not a lot of us, then they can do anything. Anything's possible.
On Monday, schools across the nation welcomed students back to campus, and Ramming was excited to dive into the work he loves. Yet, like any profession, teaching comes with its own unique set of challenges. For mathematics teacher Dante Albury, he says the biggest hurdle is balance.
For the other male students, I got to keep that balance where we don't just talk about basketball or football all day. Because I do incorporate it in the classroom. And for females, I have to make sure that I keep the boundaries so that people don't assume anything and so that nothing happens. So I keep the boundaries to make sure of that. But that's the only challenge. Other than them calling me yes, mom, every so often, that's the only challenge.
As for young men considering a career in education, guidance counselor Carl Campbell shared this bit of advice.
Coming into the profession, you just not only affect the community, but you affect the country. You change the trajectory of many young men because of your influence, because you are the difference maker, because you are that positive role model, because they can talk to you and build that rapport that they probably won't be able to do with female teachers, and also because you have the experience. And so we need a lot more male teachers to be the difference maker, to
Well, a local church has put a unique spin on its back-to-school initiative this year. While mainly focused on backpacks, books, and uniforms, a Flamingo Garden-based congregation chose to provide something equally essential. Our Joshua Williams tells us in an item we might often overlook.
Good News Seventh-day Adventist Church is making waves beyond its own walls, impacting students in the Flamingo Gardens and Carmichael Road areas. The church recently donated nearly 200 pairs of tennis shoes to local schools. Gerald Cash Primary is one of the schools benefiting from this generosity. Principal Sharon Williams commended the church, noting that their acts of kindness have been a consistent support over the years.
For the church to move outside of their four walls and reach out to our school community, you have no idea how much this will do for our children in our school. We always say, learning can't take place until the child is whole. And with so many of them coming who are without, this is indeed a blessing, and they will be well on their way to achieving academic success. So we say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Over at Garventines, Principal Janice Johnson praised the church's unique approach to giving, noting that it showcases the power of their outside-the-box thinking.
Every year, organizations, they would get together and garner supplies in form of books, pencils, sharpeners, and the like. But to actually have tennis shoes donated to the school that students can use and they can wear during their physical education classes. When our teams go out, we can be sure that every member on the team have a tennis shoe to wear. It is indeed just a grateful, thankful. I am humbled and blessed.
For Senior Pastor Dr. Henry Monker, the initiative is just a start. Pastor Monker heralded the church's impact, which he says goes well beyond this single effort.
We believe it's about making an impact in the lives of others. So not only do we do a grocery thing, we've got haircuts, we're doing children back to school, hairstylists for girls. We've got a monthly thing that we do every month in terms of grocery that we distribute in this community. We've already planning for back to school again next year. So this is not just a one-time thing we do. We seek to do this every month in terms of trying to make an impact in this community, because that's what church is all about. It's about making a difference in the lives of individuals.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks, Joshua. When Our News Weekend comes back from the break, former Prime Minister Perry Christie is speaking out following a shocking health scare. He says he's just thankful to God. And early detection is key. A local physician talks colon cancer awareness. That's coming up when Our News Weekend returns.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Former Prime Minister Perry Christie says he's thankful to be alive after a recent health scare about 3 weeks ago. Christie says he faced a serious situation when doctors discovered that his widowmaker artery was clogged, leading to emergency surgery. During an exclusive interview with Our News this week, the former Prime Minister shared that he is thankful to God for his life and says he's embracing each day with a renewed sense of purpose.
I think I should say God is good, that I had a scare, my family had a scare. Medical intervention was absolutely fabulous. And clearly it has enabled me today to be able to sit here, look at the streets outside, and feel good about life. And now partially going back to work I was doing prior to my illness.
Well, a leading gastroenterologist says there is a noticeable increase in requests for colon cancer screenings. Dr. Gemma Roll has been among local medical experts raising awareness about this disease and how to prevent it. Colon cancer is the third leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the country among men and women. A strong advocate for early detection, Dr. Roll says she's encouraged by the rise in patients coming forward for screenings. However, she encourages more physician consultation first.
You're 45 years old, you have nothing happening, nothing going on, you don't have any change in bowel habits, you don't have any abdominal pain, you're not having any rectal bleeding. If you're 45, you should be screened for colon cancer just so that we can look and see. So we look for colon polyps. Polyps are these small little things that grow in the colon, and if they are left unchecked, they continue to grow and then you get cancer from them. So colonoscopy, we utilize that to remove these polyps so that you don't get colon cancer.
Experts suggest starting regular screening around 45 years old. Dr. Rowe strongly suggests that if there is a family history of colon cancer and other risk factors to consider, starting even earlier.
Persons with certain bowel conditions like inflammatory bowel disease should be screened for colon cancer. So the other modifiable risk factors would be obesity, having a sedentary lifestyle, you don't exercise, you don't drink enough water or eat enough fiber, just a diet that is high in saturated fats and red meat. These are modifiable risk factors for colon cancer.
Still to come on our news weekend, big ideas and an NFL Hall of Famer find out how innovation and ownership took the spotlight at this year's Own Talks.
An NBA team is bringing their training camp to these sunny shores. Find out which one next on our Sports Weekend.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Good evening, I'm Tage Adderley, and we are back with our Sports Weekend. The summer's over, which means things in the NBA are about to ramp up. The Miami Heat will begin their quest for a championship right here in the Bahamas. This week, the Heat formally announced that they will hold training camp at Bahamas next month. This is the 4th time that the team will hold their training camp right here in the Bahamas. They are 2 seasons removed from a finals appearance where they lost to the Denver Nuggets, but they sputtered to a 46-36 record last year, good for an 8th place finish because of injuries and fatigue from the playoff run the year before. Training camp will run October 1st through the 5th. All right, on to the Diamond. Jazz and the Yanks were back in action against the Northsiders earlier today, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Meanwhile, they're 1 game closer to an MLB postseason appearance after a win against the Cubs Friday night. We're going to see what they did. Jazz went 0-3 in the box, but it didn't matter as the Yanks rolled over the Chicago Cubs 3-0. Mets coach Anton Richardson and his team got a 6-4 win over the Cincinnati Reds. And down in the minors, Sebastian Walcott hit a triple and scored a run as his Hickory Crawdads got a 4-3 win over the Rome Emperors. All the baseball guys are in the thick of postseason races. Be sure to tune in with us for the latest news. Prince Straughn and his Boise State Broncos have a tough matchup tonight against the number 5 Oregon Ducks. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. That's a wrap for sports this evening. For our Sports Weekend, I'm Tage Adderley.
Thanks, Tage. When we come back from the break, inspiring visionary leaders. Own Talks 2024 draws eager entrepreneurs to the Atlantis Ballroom. Our Daniel Miller has the highlights when our News Weekend returns.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Welcome back to our news weekend. Sunny skies in the capital today, and forecasters are predicting a hot week this week. Meteorologist Ian McKenzie joins us with the details. Ian.
Thanks, Berthany, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your Saturday blazing hot forecast, man. It is scorching hot today. Partly cloudy skies, 85 on the outside. Feels like still hot, 94. Winds out the east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Current temperatures across the northwest Bahamas, pretty much 85s across all of the area with the exception of Nicholstown, Andros, coming in at 86. The central Bahamas, you have 86s continuing, only in Kemps Bay, 85s elsewhere. That's Stedman's Key, Georgetown, Arthurstown, and in Coburn Town, San Salvador. In the southeast Bahamas, 86s dominating in Duncantown, Delectable Bay, Colonel Hill, and in Matthewtown, 85 in Abrahams Bay, and 87 in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos. Satellite imagery at this time, high pressure dominating conditions across us. Only we have a little weak trough across the extreme northwest Bahamas. This is triggering 1 or 2 showers across Grand Bahama and possibly even areas of the Abacos. Elsewhere, in terms of the tropics right now, we have a wave that's approaching the Windward Isles. We want to continue to monitor that. And in the mid-Atlantic, this wave is given about a 20% chance. But here, the activity is mainly concentrated. The NHC, or National Hurricane Center, is giving this area about a 60% chance as a medium chance for possible development by about midweek. Taking a look now at your boating forecast, where we have winds pretty much east to southeast 10 to 15 knot, seas running 2 to 4 feet across all areas. High tide at 11:19 p.m. tonight, low tide at 5:29 a.m. tomorrow morning. In your extended forecast, pretty much sunny conditions through most of the week, but by about midweek, the high pressure system that been dominating our area will begin to slide eastwards as we have the northern extent of a tropical wave that should trigger some shower activity across our area, give us a much cool down, but then those temperatures will soar back again into the low to mid 90s. That's a heat advisory, folks, so drink lots of water. With the low temperatures, not much better in the upper 70s, low 80s. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
Thanks, Ian. Well, innovation and ownership were key themes at this year's Own Talk series. In our final story tonight, Daniel Miller reports on how hundreds of Bahamians showed up at an Atlantis ballroom this week, eager to hear from both international and local speakers, including an NFL Hall of Famer.
The OWN Foundation presents another OWN Talks.
Listen, first of all, this is big money in this room tonight. It has to be big money if you can afford to have me on the stage.
OWN Talks brought its 2024 session to life on Thursday night, continuing its mission to link Bahamian entrepreneurs and aspiring business owners with visionary leaders. This year's event, themed Shift, showcased a stellar lineup of speakers. NFL Hall of Famer Ray Lewis, AI futurist Zach Cass, and Sebas Bastian, CEO of Island Luck and Wise Technology Group. They shared insights and inspiration, driving home the event's core message of transformation and growth.
This forum is for everybody who may not have an in to that door, to hear Mr. Bastian, to hear Mr. Ray Lewis, to hear Zach Case. This is the opportunity for you to come in free of charge, taking this knowledge again and use it to your advantage.
But this was more than just a speaking event. To date, the OWN Foundation has awarded over $800,000 in grants. After the final speaker concluded his presentation, attendees were given the exciting opportunity to claim their share of the foundation's support. Head of Brand, Events, Loyalty, and Rewards at Island Luck, Carlo Ramsey explains.
The application portal is going to open, and everybody and anybody who has business plans, please feel free, submit them. No plan is a bad plan. And these seminars or these OWN Talks, this is a way for you to add what your business plan is missing.
Ramsey says the foundation is committed to empowering and inspiring budding entrepreneurs.
Use this to take your step into reaching your goals. enhancing your passions.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thank you for joining us for Our News Tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Berthany McDermott. Have a great weekend, everyone.